The countdown is on, but you're not alone. This is Countdown to College, your weekly guide from Education Quest Foundation, here to help you plan, apply, and pay for college one step at a time. I'm your host, Gage, and today I am happy to be joined by Lizzy Waite, a college planning specialist here at Education Quest. Hi, Lizzy. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, Gage. Thank you. I'm so excited to be here today.
Now, Lizzy and I are actually recording this episode on Thanksgiving Eve. But by the time this episode comes out, we'll be well past then, as you can tell by my Christmas decorations already prepared. So I hope you all had a good Thanksgiving break because that actually brings us to the topic of today's episode, the importance of resting and really giving yourself the chance to recharge over school breaks, school holidays. We'll get into it. So Lizzy, can you just kick us off by explaining why are breaks, whether that's from school, work, or just your daily routines, so vital for our mental and physical health?
Yes, breaks are extremely vital because they're going to help you reset so you don't hit a burnout. They're going to help lower your stress, prevent mental fatigue, and they're going to give your body some pause. Without a break, you can start to feel exhausted, irritable, and unmotivated.
Especially, I just remember I felt like I was invincible in high school. And if you think you're that way, like wait till you get to college and then you'll feel burnout and then you'll know. Like,
So fast, you hit it immediately.
yes. Now, when we talk about taking a break, Lizzy, what's the difference between just taking time off and actually taking like a productive break?
Yeah, so taking time off can look like laying in bed and scrolling on TikTok for an hour, which is one of my favorite things to do. Nothing wrong with that. But it doesn't really recharge you. A productive break is going to be a lot more intentional. So it's going to be doing something like go taking a nap, going for a walk, getting outside, maybe talking to a friend, something that's going to really recharge you and relax you. It's less about doing nothing and more about doing something that is going to actually restore your mind and your energy.
See, and I was so much of the bedrock kind of person for a long time, like you mentioned. And
Yes.
while it's fun every once in a while, I just remember being after that being like, I still feel drained. Like that did not fulfill me really at all.
Yeah, I almost feel so much worse. And then I'm like further behind in other
Yeah.
things. So then I'm like, what was I doing? And you can scroll just for so long, you don't even realize how much time has passed.
Yeah, you don't want to look at my screen time. It's kind of
Mhm.
scary sometimes.
Same, mine is bad. I get the alerts all the time.
And now, I mean, speaking of screen time, and scrolling, like what are some of the benefits, both physical and emotional, that come from like actually unplugging for a while?
Yeah, so unplugging is gonna like allows your nervous system to slow down. Um, Physically, you're gonna sleep better. You're going to just feel better and have more energy throughout the day. Whereas emotionally, you're gonna feel less overwhelmed and you're gonna feel more present, like just more present in that moment. It's gonna give you and your brain just a really great reboot so you can come back just feeling more focused and more energized.
And it's so hard now too, just because we are so constantly surrounded by screens. I mean, we're on a screen right now together, and
Yes.
I know it can be hard to find that time away, but it really does, I feel like, benefit you. And that's not just me being like a 24-year-old, like older Gen Z, like get off your phone kind of guy, but you
No, it's
know,
so true. You have to be so intentional about it. And I love my phone. I'm always on my phone, but I do have to remind myself just to put it down at least for a little bit.
now what about, a lot of people feel guilty about like stepping away from responsibilities and that sort of thing. How can we kind of reframe this idea of rest, of taking a break as something that's, essential to your life, not something indulgent?
Yeah, I think it's great to kind of reframe it by looking at rest as something that's going to help you be better at work, at school. It's going to help. you just feel better and be more, again, be more present. So you just can't expect yourself to retain any information or perform your best when you are burnt out or have just worked too hard. So I think just trying to remind yourself that this is better for you. I know I feel a lot better after I take a break and I feel more motivated and more ready to tackle those things at school and work after a break. So just kind of reframing that as reminding yourself that this is only going to help you be better and come back as the best version of yourself.
I mean, going into that, how does other things like exercise and like nutritious food enhance the quality of a break like this? And like you said, our ability to return focused and return motivated.
hmm Movement is going to release endorphins. You're going to get your body moving, your blood's flowing, and that's going to immediately help you like improve your concentration. After you do some movement, you're ready to sit down and focus on something for a little bit longer. It's also going to improve your mood. Whereas eating nutritional meals, that's going to help stabilize your energy. So you're not crashing out and wanting to just fall asleep and be done with the day while you're doing your work, while you're doing your schoolwork. So it's important to make sure you balance those two things, even if it's just like 10 minutes a day of getting outside and just having a fruit or something as a midday snack. That way you'll just feel more energized throughout the day and not want to take an afternoon nap, which I also love those.
Yeah, I know it's so cliche to say like go outside and take a walk. Like you need to go like take a walk, which I used to be like, yeah, that is so cliche. But honestly, I am such a walker now. I love a little walk, a little lunch walk, a little after work walk, before
Mhm.
walk. Like
There's nothing better, but it does feel cliche sometimes. I'm like, oh, I swear that will help, but it really does.
same with exercise. It's always that thing of like, huh, I hate that this thing actually does help me.
I know it's the worst because it's so hard to get yourself to go and do it. I'm
Hmm.
like, I have to sit there and tell myself, this is better for me. I'm gonna feel so good after this. But beforehand, I'm like, I do not want to get up,
Yeah. I mean,
especially
do
in
you
the
have
winter.
any, this
Sorry.
isn't necessarily on our question list, but do you have any advice for like building healthy habits or anything? Anything that you've done personally?
Yeah, personally, what I do, it's just a constant reminder. I think I just have to remind myself often, to keep myself motivated, saying this will make me feel better. I oftentimes will allow myself to, I kind of give myself like a time frame. So if I am like doing a bed rot for the moment, because I do want to enjoy that sometimes. I'll say, okay, I can do this for 10 more minutes, and then I need to get up and at least balance that out with going for a walk. So I really just honestly, it's a constant motivation, trying to motivate myself and remind myself why I do these things. And then the feeling afterwards just keeps me more motivated. I'm like, oh, I feel good. I can keep doing this. And just reminding myself how good it makes me feel. And then once you do that for long enough, then you finally are just in that habit of it. And it's more just second nature. And you start to feel worse when you don't do it. Then you're like,
Hmm.
oh, I can tell I didn't go for a walk today, or I can tell that I didn't eat the best, most nutritious food because then my energy
Hmm.
levels are really low. I'm not motivated. So just a constant reminder. I know for a while I would put like sticky notes up by my mirrors. Again, I know this might seem a little cliche, but just putting sticky notes up so that every time I'm like in the bathroom, I'm walking by my mirror in the hallway, I'm just reminded why I'm doing these things and how good it makes me feel.
No, I love that. I am a big, and I don't want to get like too preachy, but I'm a big positive affirmations guy because how you
Yes.
speak about yourself and how you speak to yourself really can determine a lot of your mental health, your energy, all that sort of thing.
Yes,
But
absolutely.
speaking more on things that can help you feel restored, we've talked about exercise, nutrition, unplugging for a while. But another big part of that is social connection and actually hanging out with your friends and your family and your loved ones. So why is spending time with friends or family such a powerful part of a break?
It's one of my favorite ways to restore and just refresh my energy. I think being around your friends and your family, it re helps remind you that you're supported, you're not alone in whatever you're facing. You've got that team that you can rely on. It also gives you the chance to vent about whatever, like about any schoolwork, whatever is going on. They help you feel understood. And of course, my favorite, the most important, I think, is laughing, just having fun. That's just really going to help lower your stress, raise your mood. You go back feeling like you've got like a mental reset. You're like, okay, whew, I got everything out. I feel good. Like they just, you can leave and just feeling really great and ready to tackle whatever you need to tackle next.
Yeah, especially if you are about to go into college or you're already in college, building a support network there is so important, especially if you do live further away from your family. And just building in that time too, if you want to make a call home or a FaceTime, like those are kind of what helped me survive college, to be honest.
Absolutely. That has helped me survive so many different things. My first person I'm calling is my mom or my sisters. And I heard somebody say once that like social connection is like your mental hydration, like just drinking water
Oh,
for
I
your
love
brain.
that.
And yeah, I feel like it's so true. I heard that once and I'm like, yeah, that is so accurate.
I love this. This is turning into a like wellness self-care
I
podcast.
know. That's my favorite type of stuff. I love it.
And speaking to that, sleep is something else that I feel like people, much like, you know, exercise or nutrition, sometimes people ignore and sometimes don't really put a whole lot of importance on, but that can kind of catch up to you really fast and you'll feel that, especially towards the end of your college career. I kind of had a crash out.
Yes.
And so, how can catching up on rest transform our productivity or mood? And why is like sleep so important to that?
I agree with you. I think sleep is one of the most underrated like activities. I don't think people realize just how important that is to help you reset. Um, when you're fully rested, you're going to feel better. You're going to have more energy. You're going to feel less anxious. You're going to just have more energy and more emotional like bandwidth to conquer whatever you need to conquer that day. And it is going to help your memory as well. I think it's really important to make sure you're getting that sleep, especially when you're like studying. I know a lot of times students will study for an extra hour and like sacrifice their sleep, but sleep at that point is going to be a lot more beneficial to you than taking that hour to study. That sleep's going to help you retain that all that information that you just studied. Whereas if you just keep staying up and then have no sleep, by the time you get to your test, you're going to forget half those things that you studied.
Hmm. But what are some other ways, Lizzie, creative or unconventional, that people can make their breaks both relaxing and meaningful?
Yeah, I have a few different ideas for this. For myself, I kind of bounce between whatever I feel like will be the most beneficial for me that day. One thing that I love is a meditation. Even if it's just 5 minutes, it's going to give you some great time to be distraction free and just kind of reset your mind and refocus and be more present in today. Other things that I think are great are would be like trying a new activity, something that you've been wanting to try, just something for fun. I also think it's great. Another thing is like just doing a little mini declutter. Like if you look at your desk and you're like, let me just sit here for 5 minutes and clean this up and declutter it. It's a productive thing to do. You're going to feel super good afterwards. And it was a break from whatever you were studying or whatever you were working on. Also, another great idea is like journaling your thoughts, your emotions, just to get that out so you can refocus. One that I really like to do sometimes, not all the time, but is a no phone morning. So, starting your morning without checking that phone and giving
Mm.
yourself time to slowly wake up and just really be present with yourself.
I love that you brought up meditation because that is something that earlier in my like, college career, I like really was not too keen on. I was like, I don't know, people keep telling me to meditate. I don't know about it. First couple times it was, I'm just sitting here breathing. Like, what am I doing? And eventually, once I got into it, and I was like, it's so nice to have a break from like just everything in the world going on, school, world events, family life, that sort of thing, and just be present with myself. And I don't know, if you are a skeptic of meditation, I recommend you give it a try, at least for like give it a few weeks or something so you can really settle into it and it might surprise you.
Yes, give it a few weeks because the first few times they can be really hard, especially if you're someone who overthinks. I am like
Hmm.
that, and it took me a long time to be like, what's the point of this? And then you get there and you're like, oh my gosh, my brain is quiet. This is so
Yes.
nice.
Yes. Now, when it's time to return to school or work, what should people expect and how can they ease the transition back from, that productive, restful break into a structured routine?
I think you should expect to feel a mixture of emotions, a lot of motivation because you have been resting and recovering, and you're like, I'm ready to tackle everything that I'm doing. You might feel a little bit of resistance just because you're starting to break that relaxing habit and get back into the work. So you might not feel always the most excited. But one thing that I really recommend is to ease back into it because you will be feeling a lot of motivation and ready to go, and you don't want to overwhelm yourself right away. So I think just starting the morning off by like setting a simple, realistic plan for yourself for that first day back into it. Clear your workspace, check your syllabuses, your calendars, just kind of know so you kind of know what's going on. And then I recommend that first few days back is just to choose a couple of tasks that you know are going to be that you're going to be able to accomplish and that you can focus on. So that way you're not trying to tackle everything at
Hmm.
once. Otherwise, then you will start to feel pretty overwhelmed, and you'll feel like I need a longer break.
Hmm.
So just take your time easing back into it.
Yeah, that's my biggest pro tip that I learned kind of the hard way in college was either set yourself up for success before the trip or make sure you have like a plan once you get back so that it can be you don't have to think about it. You can be like, okay, well, I'm just gonna check my emails today, maybe do this one assignment, and we'll worry about the rest once I'm a little bit more used into it. Yeah.
Yes.
All right, Lizzie, I have one final question for you. What is just one small change anyone could make this week to bring more balance and productive pause into their daily life?
Oh, I like this one. I think one thing that someone could do, an easy, simple change, is to try to take an intentional break every day. Even if it's just, I'm thinking just 2 to 5 minutes, just taking that break, stepping outside, getting some fresh air, maybe just sit there and take a few breaths, just to give yourself, your mind, and your body just a quick little reset to come back into yourself and feel more present and then start back in. So just take a few minutes every day to remember when you're feeling like the busiest, the most overwhelmed, just to take a step back, take a few breaths, walk around the block, and then get back at it.
Take a walk. I love a walk.
I love a walk.
Okay, well, that wraps us up. Thank you, Lizzie, for joining us.
Yes, thank you.
And to our audience, if you ever need help with anything college related, you can contact an Education Quest office near you for free help. Our college planning specialist, like Lizzie, would be more than happy to help you. You can find our contact information or schedule an appointment at educationquest.org. While you are there, sign up for Countdown to College. It's a weekly email that is filled with all sorts of college tips and tricks. And finally, just help us get this message out to as many students and families as possible by subscribing to this podcast on your favorite platform and hitting the like button on this episode. Thank you for watching and listening, and we will see you next week.